Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss the difference between AWS CloudFormation and Hashicorp Terraform. This is a comparison of two of the most popular infrastructure as code tools. This video is produced by Cloud Yeti. Cloud Yeti is based in the Washington, D.C. area and provides consulting and training on cloud computing and DevOps. You can get in touch with us by emailing us on this email. My name is Saurav Sharma and I'll be the presenter for this video. You can connect with me on LinkedIn by using this link. Let's talk about our video sponsor. We're self-sponsoring this video. We have a course called Master Amazon EC2 with 10 labs and 20 must-know facts on our website learn.cloudyeti.io, and we highly recommend you check this course out. You can also get a preview of the course by visiting the link. In this course we have 3 lectures and 10 video labs with step-by-step guide provided to you on GitHub. So please check out our course, available for $6.99 on learn.cloudyeti.io. We'll be posting the link in the description below. Now, if you want to sponsor our future videos, then contact us so that you can be seen here. Alright, so let's get started with comparison between CloudFormation and Terraform. So what is infrastructure as code? Let's look at this term before we even discuss CloudFormation or Terraform. Simply put, infrastructure as code is defining your infrastructure using configuration files or code. Rather than manually provisioning and maintaining infrastructure, both administrators and developers can instantiate infrastructure using configuration files or code now. So there's a white paper provided by Amazon that goes into details of what infrastructure as code is. So let's quickly look at this white paper. So this is the white paper. I'll be providing the link in the description. So let's read through this paragraph. Infrastructure management is a process associated with software engineering. Organizations have traditionally racked and stacked hardware and then installed and configured operating systems and applications to support their technology needs. Cloud computing takes advantage of virtualization to enable the on-demand provisioning of compute, network, and storage resources that constitute technology infrastructures. Now, infrastructure managers have often performed such provisioning manually. A lot of work involved with doing this manually. The manual process have certain disadvantages, including higher cost because they require human capital that could otherwise go towards more important business needs, right? When a person is doing the same thing again and again, we require human capital. And that human capital could otherwise go towards more important needs. Inconsistency due to human error, leading to deviations from configuration standards. When a human performs these infrastructure provisioning steps, there might be a chance of error because they missed a certain steps. So infrastructure as code addresses these concerns. Lack of agility by limiting the speed at which organization can release new versions of services in response to customer needs and market drivers. And difficulty in attaining and maintaining compliance to corporate or industry standards due to absence of repeatable processes. Now, infrastructure as code addresses these deficiencies by bringing automation to the provisioning process. Automation to the provisioning process. Rather than relying on manually performed steps, both admins and developers can instantiate infrastructure using configuration files. Infrastructure as code treats these configuration files as software code. These files can be used to produce a set of artifacts, namely the compute, storage, network, and application services that comprise of everything you need to run your application. So this is a brief introduction to infrastructure as code as detailed in this white paper provided by AWS, and I'll be linking this in the description below. But let's move forward and look at this slide. Now, once again, I've listed the benefits of infrastructure as code. The value of infrastructure as code, or IAC, can be broken down into three categories: cost reduction, speed of execution, and reduced risk. Cost reduction, because you are not paying for an engineer to manually perform the task, taking a long time. The second point or second benefit is speed of execution, right? Once you have your configuration ready, it's really easy to provision your infrastructure programmatically within a few minutes sometimes, instead of having to click through manually and create infrastructure that might take a long time, sometimes hours or even weeks. And the third is reduced risk, right? When you have your infrastructure captured in a configuration file, the number of errors is highly minimized, and the security violations can also be addressed through code. Infrastructure as code is an important part of the DevOps methodology. Now let's look at Hashicorp Terraform. This is one of the most popular infrastructure as code tools out there in the market today. And as you can see here, you can write, plan, and create infrastructure as code using Terraform. Now the other tool available if you're working with AWS is AWS CloudFormation. CloudFormation provides a common language for you to describe and provision all the infrastructure resources in your cloud environment. CloudFormation allows you to use a simple text file to model and provision in an automated and secure manner all the resources needed for your application. Now, Terraform and CloudFormation, they basically do the same thing. The end goal is create infrastructure as code, right? Modeling your infrastructure as code and provisioning them. So let's look at some of the differences between CloudFormation and Terraform. Terraform is cloud agnostic, and what this means is Terraform works with several cloud providers, including AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and many others. Terraform also integrates with several other tools like Cloudflare, DNS Simple, Datadog, etc. This enables Terraform to represent and manage the entire infrastructure with its supporting services instead of only the subset that exists within a single provider. So this is one of the biggest advantages of Terraform. It can work with multiple providers, multiple tools. Now, CloudFormation is AWS specific. If you're working with CloudFormation, you cannot use CloudFormation to provision Google Cloud resources. So that's one of the drawbacks of sticking with CloudFormation. If you're working with multiple providers, multiple services, then you have to use other tools. With Terraform, you can work with multiple providers and multiple tools. The second difference is Terraform is open source compared to CloudFormation, which is a proprietary tool created by Amazon Web Services. Terraform is open source. Anyone can contribute to the project, and like other major open source project, Terraform has many contributors. New ideas can be implemented easily in the tool. This is a link, github.com/hashicorp/terraform. Let's quickly go to this repo. So this is the repo where Terraform is maintained. And as you can see, there are 1,200 contributors working, to add features to maintain the Terraform tool. There's also many discussions, people asking for new features, and it's very popular. Look at the number of stars, and sometimes this will give away how popular a certain tool is. And Terraform is very popular. It's liked by many. It's contributed by many contributors, as you can see here, and it's very active, right? People are requesting new features, people are pointing out issues, and the contributors can work on these issues and work on new features. So this is one thing that's really cool about Terraform. Now, compared to Terraform, you cannot contribute to CloudFormation source code and features since it's maintained and updated by AWS. So unless you work for AWS, the CloudFormation team, you can't contribute source code or features to CloudFormation. And sometimes AWS does not even provide CloudFormation support for its new services. If AWS releases a new service, like they do, many times a week, a month, a year, right? They have multiple services being released on AWS, but their own service is not supported by CloudFormation when it's released. And a lot of the users are frustrated by this. But AWS does respond to user needs and requests, right? There was a discussion going on Reddit saying CloudFormation feature support lag is way out of hand, right? This happened about a month ago, around February 2019. And someone opened a thread on Reddit saying CloudFormation feature support lag is way out of hand. Does anyone else find it frustrating that CloudFormation lags are so behind newly released features? Something was released on November, and in CloudFormation you still can't create a lifecycle rule that transitions to intelligent tiering. How are they not testing this stuff alongside new development and releasing it the day a new feature is out? So this is the frustration that CloudFormation users face, because they cannot contribute to the source code of CloudFormation, and when a new feature by AWS is released, when a new service by AWS is released, sometimes it's not supported on CloudFormation. But AWS does respond to user needs. Immediately the day after this post was posted on Reddit, one of the employees, Jeff Barr, who is one of the chief evangelists of AWS, he addressed these concerns. He set up a meeting with the general manager of CloudFormation service, and he wanted to address some of these issues being faced by the users of CloudFormation. So, now even though CloudFormation is closed source, they do listen to customer feedback. And this is a great example that, you can request features on CloudFormation and AWS will respond to it. All right, let's move on. Terraform versus CloudFormation. Let's look at the command line interface syntax. Terraform is a tool that has, very simple syntax when you're working with the command line interface. You can just go in a folder, say Terraform init, and Terraform will be initialized in the directory. Obviously, you have to have Terraform installed, and then you use a command called Terraform apply, and your configuration files or your code will be applied to create infrastructure on AWS. Now, CloudFormation, as you can see, the whole syntax is a bit verbose than Terraform, right? AWS CloudFormation create stack name, and sometimes people like this, right? This style of CLI syntax. They want simple syntax, and this is just a quick comparison. This is not a big thing. I think this is like a tiny thing, but I think it's important to point out that if you like working with simple syntax, then you may like Terraform. But if you really don't mind, then that's okay. Now let's look at the configuration language, right? The code part of both CloudFormation and Terraform. HCL stands for Hashicorp configuration language. It's used across many of Hashicorp's tools, including Terraform. And Terraform also supports JSON. CloudFormation supports JSON and YAML. Now, if you have preference for any of these, then you may say, okay, I want to work with YAML, so I'll probably want to use CloudFormation. Or you can say, since I know and I've been working with HCL, Terraform is fine, and I like Terraform. But this is also one of the big differences, the support for configuration language. And code examples, a minimal code example for Terraform is something like this. You say the provider, AWS in this case, and you specify the region. And if you wanted to launch an EC2 instance, you just have this block of code. You specify the AMI and instance type, and obviously you need to have your AWS credentials configured, and you can launch your stack that has EC2 instance. Compare this to CloudFormation. CloudFormation uses YAML, and this is how you provision an EC2 instance. With T2 Micro, you just need to supply AMI or image ID and instance type, and it's pretty similar, as you can see. Now you may like this style of configuration, which is YAML, right? And I really like YAML too. So this is also one of the differences between CloudFormation and Terraform. One thing to note is Terraform configuration language can be simple compared to CloudFormation. Even if you have these brackets and these quotation marks, let's say if you wanted to create 3 EC2 instances, with Terraform you can use a parameter called a count parameter to create 3 EC2 instances. Count equals 3. Compare that to CloudFormation. If you wanted to create 3 EC2 instances, you have to repeat the code block 3 times to create 3 instances. The indentation in this screenshot is a bit off, but I just wanted to show you that you have to repeat the code block 3 times with CloudFormation, whereas in Terraform you can just say count equals 3. So this is one of the differences between Terraform and CloudFormation. Alright, now let's talk about GUI support. CloudFormation has a nice GUI, graphical user interface, that lets you create and manage stacks. Anyone can start using the GUI for no cost. You only pay for resources you create. And this is what the GUI for CloudFormation looks like. You can select a template, and you can design a template. There is a designer where you can put code, and you can drag and drop things. Right, you can drag and drop things and it will generate code for you. You can convert JSON to YAML, and it's a good thing to have. It's good to have this GUI option available to you at no cost. Now, Terraform graphical user interface is only available with enterprise license, which can be expensive. If you're a small company that doesn't have a big budget and want to just stick with free tools, then you don't have support for Terraform GUI, unfortunately, unless you pay for that enterprise license. So this is one of the differences to consider when trying to decide what tool you want to work with. One of the major differences between CloudFormation and Terraform is with CloudFormation, you don't need to manage the state of your stack. If another developer wants to make a change on the stack, they can easily do it using CloudFormation Management Console, the GUI, or the CLI. And if you just supply the right stack name, there's no state to manage. But with Terraform, you have to manage the state file. And this is Terraform non-enterprise. You have to manage the state file. State file is a file that keeps track of all the resources that is created by Terraform. So when another developer wants to work with the same stack of resources, then you have to have a way to manage the state. And although it's not a big thing to do, it's something that you have to do it manually and you have to keep track of, and there is a chance of losing the files. So CloudFormation has a good advantage on this topic. You don't need to manage the state. And we have a video on Terraform state configuration and also remote state configuration, which I'll be linking in the description. Now, when you're working with multiple configuration files, Terraform, you can just have multiple files on the working directory and you can apply them using the Terraform apply command. With CloudFormation, there's a concept of nested stack to work with multiple templates. The concept is kind of hard to grasp for beginners and usually has limitations. So I think while working with multiple configuration files, Terraform wins the round, and it's kind of easier to work with multiple files. Let's look at the summary, and I've color coded the summary points so that you can see, is it a good thing or a bad thing. So Terraform and CloudFormation. CloudFormation is closed source, it's maintained by AWS. Terraform is open source, many contributors. And you can say, it's a good thing or bad thing, but I think since Terraform is open source, you can add features to it. Anyone can add features and fix bugs, and I think that's a good plus for Terraform. CloudFormation is suitable for only working with AWS Cloud. Terraform is cloud agnostic, so if you're working with Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS, I think it makes sense to work with Terraform instead of CloudFormation. But if you're only working with AWS, then working with CloudFormation is okay too, because all you need is CloudFormation. Now, one advantage of CloudFormation, you get GUI access for no cost. Terraform, it requires an expensive enterprise license to have GUI access. With CloudFormation, there's no need to manage state file. With Terraform, you need to manage state file yourself. CloudFormation supports YAML and JSON. Terraform supports JSON and HCL. And while working with multiple configuration files or templates, I think Terraform has it way easier. And CloudFormation uses nested stack, which is a concept that's not easy to grasp and also has limitations. So this is a quick overview between CloudFormation and Terraform. Now, if you ask me which to choose, right, it really depends on what fits your business needs. If you only work with AWS, then CloudFormation probably will be good enough for you. But if you're working with multiple cloud providers, then maybe Terraform is a better option. But with that being said, you can use both CloudFormation and Terraform at the same time, right? Because Terraform is just easy to download and start using, and CloudFormation is provided to you at no cost. You can use both and use each tool for a different use case. Some people prefer CloudFormation whilst others prefer Terraform. I personally like both, but I mostly work with CloudFormation. And just to give you an idea, at a project that I worked on, we were using CloudFormation and Terraform at the same time, for different things, and it worked out quite well. So it's not like you have to choose one or the other. You can choose both and work with both. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and learned something new about CloudFormation and Terraform and some differences between them. This is a topic that comes up frequently in DevOps or cloud interviews. So, make sure you make some notes and rewatch the video if you want to. Let us know in the comments if you have anything to add to this comparison, because we will create another video and update, or just update the comments or description to add your feedback. And we're also going to link our CloudFormation introductory series that's on YouTube that you can watch for free. And same with Terraform, we have a series on Terraform that you can watch for free here on YouTube. Please check the videos out. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. And if you like this video, hit a like button down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be creating more videos like this. If you have any recommendations for videos, put them in the comments. See you in the next video.